Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Gargi Rawat. Our top story: over 60 people, including 50 children, died in Western UP's Firozabad district in the last 10 days from what the government authorities are calling a dengue hemorrhagic fever or a severe form of dengue. Other districts in Western UP like Mathura and Agra are also affected from dengue, and hospitals in many parts of the state are teeming with children who are suffering from viral fever.
घंटे के अंदर प्लेट तैयार करो, मैं कहाँ से लाऊं? मैं ढूंढे में लग रहा हूँ, अभी बिल होता है, मैं दे लूँगी ऐसे कौन? हैं? अब ये लोग मेरे बच्चे को ठीक कर दें।
ब्लड की कब बोला था, कब देना था ब्लड आपको?
आज बोला है अभी। अब बच्चे पढ़ते हैं, पत्रकार ले ये देखा।
Crowded wards despite the COVID pandemic, anxious parents, overwhelmed doctors and some severely ill children at this government hospital in Western UP's Firozabad. Where 50 people, 40 of them children, have died in just 10 days from dengue. More and more children are still being rushed to hospitals by parents. Inside the 100-bedded dedicated government hospital treating over 300 of these cases, extra beds have been lined up in the corridors and storage rooms. 40-year-old Kamlesh says she's extremely worried about her 13-year-old daughter Kanya Kumari, who has been admitted for 6 days now, with worsening symptoms of dengue like dehydration and blood in her urine. Kamlesh claims the doctors at the hospital want to discharge her daughter to make way for new patients.
बुखार नहीं जा रहा है, उसकी प्लेटें गिरती जा रही हैं। कल भी इनने छुट्टी की कह दी, आज भी कह दी। इतनी परेशानी है और बच्ची की इतनी हालत है, खून आ रहा है, पेशाब गिरता।
5 days after Chief Minister Adityanath visited Firozabad and claimed things were under control, more beds and equipment have reached the hospital. But are they enough? Hundreds of patients are coming into the hospital OPD each day, many of them needing hospitalization. The Firozabad DM has even announced plans to have makeshift beds on the streets closer to the homes of those who are not seriously ill.
मैंने तो डॉक्टर्स को ये भी बोला है कि वहाँ पे जहाँ पे अपना कैंप उन्होंने लगा रखा है, वहाँ पे 4-6 चारपाई की व्यवस्था वो लोग करें, और जो थोड़ा सा बच्चे की तबीयत ठीक है, थोड़ा सा वैसा लग रहा है, उसको वहीं के वहीं इलाज को मिल जाए। डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल सबको भागने की जरूरत नहीं है।
The government of India has sent a team of doctors to Firozabad, but the worry is not limited to one district. 60 kilometers away in Mathura, 15 people, including 11 children, have died in just one village in the last fortnight. The UP government says while a majority of cases and deaths in both Mathura and Firozabad are from dengue, other diseases are involved too.
अभी हम लोगों ने देखा मथुरा और फिरोजाबाद में कि डेंगू और स्क्रब टाइफस के मामले वहां सामने आए और लोगों को बड़ी संख्या में लोग बीमार पड़े। मथुरा में कुछ मामले लेप्टोस्पायरोसिस के भी आए। ये एक ऐसी बीमारी है जो पशुओं से मनुष्य में आती। हमें इस समय बहुत ही ज्यादा सावधान रहने की जरूरत है। जो भी कहीं भी जल जमाव हो रहा हो, खास करके अपने घर के भीतर देखिए।
In many districts from western UP to the eastern part of the state, OPDs are teeming with patients, mostly children, suffering from viral fever. And while deaths have not been reported, officials are worried.
What makes the situations at these UP hospitals even more heartbreaking is that dengue and other vector-borne diseases are actually largely avoidable. This is a complete public health failure. With Jitendra Kishore and Sushil Rathi, Meher Pandey for NDTV.
Now, a furious Delhi court slammed the police in the national capital over a shoddy, callous and indolent investigation into the violence that rocked the city in February last year. It acquitted 3 people, including Shah Alam, who is AAP councillor Tahir Hussein's brother.
When history will look back at the worst communal riots since partition in Delhi, it is the failure of investigating agency to conduct proper investigation that will surely torment the sentinels of democracy. Case is a colossal wastage of the hard-earned money of taxpayers. Strong words from a Delhi court against the Delhi police as it discharged 3 accused in one of the cases in Delhi's riots of February 2020. Delhi police had charged Shah Alam, brother of former Aam Aadmi Party councillor Tahir Hussain, and 2 others of looting a furniture shop in the Chandbagh area of northeast Delhi. The Karkarduma court has discharged all the 3 accused for want of evidence. The court order said the case appears to have been solved merely by filing this charge sheet. No real effort has been made to trace out the eyewitnesses. The police has shown up only 5 witnesses. 1 is the victim, other is Constable Gyan Singh, 1 duty officer, a formal witness and the IO. No real effective investigation in the matter has been carried out. The owner of the shop is clueless whether the Delhi police arrested the real culprits in the case.
Riots around 11 o'clock start हुए थे दिल्ली में हमारे सामने और उसके बाद अराउंड 11:10 और अराउंड 15 हमने अपनी शटर बंद करके हम अपने घर की तरफ चले गए। 3 दिन बाद हमें पता चला था कि हमारी जो शॉप है वो थोड़ी लूटी हुई है। किसी के खिलाफ नहीं सर, हमने खाली इतना बताया था कि हमारी शॉप उस दिन लूटी हुई है। सर हमें तो ये नहीं पता कि इस केस से रिलेटेड उन्होंने किसको अरेस्ट करा है किसको नहीं करा। सर हमने तो ये भी नहीं देखा कि किसने हमारी शॉप लूटी किसने नहीं लूटी, तो हम कैसे सर उनको कह सकते हैं कि only these people are the culprit.
The accused, while relieved, still have 6 more FIRs against them. They are hopeful of justice.
बहुत अच्छा है। इंडिया का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पे भरोसा था। मैं यूपीएससी की तैयारी कर रहा था। 2020 में मैंने फॉर्म फिलअप भी किया। जहाँ पे मैं जॉब करता हूँ उसी पैलेस पे मेरे को लोकेशन के बिहाफ पे अरेस्ट किया गया और अरेस्ट भी नहीं किया गया सर, पूछताछ के लिए बुलाया गया। उसके बाद में वहीं पे अरेस्ट किया गया। अब देखते हैं आगे क्या होता है और इंशाल्लाह जो केस बचे हैं उनमें भी बरी होने की चांस है।
This is the same place where NDTV crew was attacked while reporting on Delhi riots in February last year. It's been 18 months since. Of the 750 cases registered by Delhi police over the riots incident, charges have been filed only in 150 cases and charges have been framed only in 35 cases. The Delhi police has not even secured 1 conviction yet. Cases are falling apart even before the start of the trial. With camera person Xavier Thomas, this is Arvind Gunasekar for NDTV.
Actor Sidharth Shukla was cremated in the afternoon in Mumbai a day after his sudden death shocked his fans and left the entertainment world shaken. His body was taken from the hospital in a flower-decked ambulance straight for the crematorium, where his relatives, friends and colleagues were present to pay their last respects.
Last rites of popular actor Sidharth Shukla at the Oshiwara crematorium with Brahmakumari rituals in the midst of heavy rain. Family and friends gathered to say goodbye. Shehnaz Gill, his friend, broke down as the funeral pyre was lit.
It was a heart attack and nothing else that the cops have shared. But of course, the fact that 3 doctors monitoring that, doing the post-mortem, entire procedure being recorded on video, is obviously a fallout of what happened during Sushant Singh Rajput's case.
During Sidharth's final journey, the police struggled to control fans who had gathered.
बट ये तो हमारे कंट्रोल में नहीं है कि हम देख पाएंगे कि नहीं देख पुलिस को भी अपना काम करना पड़ता है। यहाँ पे आके भी हम लोग एक प्रेजेंस एक फील उनको कर पाएंगे दूर से।
हम लोग को यकीन नहीं हो रहा है कि ऐसा हो गया, हम लोग को बहुत शौक लगा।
The police released the 40-year-old's body after a post-mortem, but they have not commented on the circumstances of the actor's death so far. Sources say no internal or external injuries have been found and no opinion has been shared on the cause of death. Viscera samples have been sent preserved for chemical analysis, and a histopathology study, which is a detailed study of tissues, will be conducted to determine the cause of death. Sources close to the family say on Wednesday night the actor complained of unease and went to bed after eating. The next morning when he did not wake up, a doctor was called who advised taking him to Cooper Hospital. The actor's family issued a statement through his public relations team requesting the media to give his family and loved ones space and let them grieve. An NDTV Bureau report.
Congress leader Harish Rawat was seen cleaning shoes and sweeping the floor at a gurudwara as part of his promised penance for recently comparing Navjot Sidhu and his team to the Panch Pyare, a term of reverence for Sikhs. In this video, the Congress Punjab in charge was seen wiping down shoes of devotees at the Nanak Matta Gurudwara in Udham Singh Nagar in Uttarakhand. With that, time for us to slip into a short break. Coming up on the other side, a tunnel-like structure that was discovered at the Delhi Legislative Assembly. Welcome back. News now from Bengal. An oil on the troubled waters of the Central Vishwa Bharati University in Bengal. The Calcutta High Court has ordered no more dharnas on campus, but students can continue protests 50 meters away from the university property. 3 students were recently rusticated. Protesters want the order rolled back and sat on dharna at the gates of the Vice-Chancellor's house on the 27th of August. The university went to court. Admissions and results were even put on hold due to this agitation.
At the gates of the Vice-Chancellor's residence, before and after the High Court order, police on the spot to ensure its implementation, agitating students to move their dharna 50 meters away from the Vice-Chancellor's gate and from any other university property.
Immediately, 3 police persons will be employed for the protection of life and property of the Vice-Chancellor. VC or others will not make any provocative statement and the peaceful demonstration will continue. They will sit 50 meters away from the residence or the office of the university.
Last month, Vice-Chancellor Bidyut Chakravarti rusticated 3 students for demonstrating in January at one of his public events. These students on dharna since 27th August want the rustication rolled back. They say their protest will continue, though the court order has put a question mark over where they can do so.
हम लोग वही शिफ्ट कर रहे हैं दूसरी जगह में, पर हम लोगों का आंदोलन जारी है.
The Vice Chancellor, he should immediately revoke the rustication of 3 students. He should immediately start a dialogue with the students.
বিশ্বভারতীতে এই প্রতিবাদী কণ্ঠস্বর কেউ কোনোদিনও রোধ করতে পারবে না, আমরা তাও জানাচ্ছি. এ ভাঙো 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 রে অচলায়তন ভাঙো রে.
High Court will next hear the case on 8th September. But all eyes now on what the VC does before that. The centre wants the university to immediately restart admissions and declare results. In an unprecedented move, Vishwa Bharati had suspended both because of the dharna, affecting thousands of students. With G.D. Shankar, Monideepa Banerjee, NDTV.
To mark 75 years of Indian independence, the Delhi government will convert 2 spots in the Delhi Legislative Assembly into tourist spots. One of them is a tunnel that was reported in 2016 that reportedly goes up to the Red Fort and was used to move Indian freedom fighters during the freedom struggle. The second spot are the gallows where the freedom fighters were given the death penalty. Akshay Dongre reports.
So right now I'm in this tunnel that is directly below the Delhi Legislative Assembly, and we'll try to show you what exactly does it feel like and what are the visuals when we get inside this particular tunnel. So we are right now in this tunnel that is directly below the Delhi Legislative Assembly. As far as the purpose of this tunnel is concerned, there are certain accounts, there are certain views of historians that might reveal that what exactly was this tunnel used for. As far as the length of this tunnel is concerned, it is said that it goes from here to Red Fort. And as far as the history is concerned, Delhi was made the capital of British Raj in 1911. Before that it was Calcutta, and after Britishers made New Delhi the capital, they also wanted to make a parliament for themselves. So this place, which is now called Delhi Legislative Assembly, was earlier called Central Legislative Assembly, which meant a parliament for the British Raj, and all the functions were operated from here. In 1926, the present-day parliament was made, and all the works of the parliament were shifted from here to a present-day parliament, and this place, which is now used as Delhi Legislative Assembly, was converted into a court. Back then, Red Fort was a jail, and Britishers used to keep freedom fighters in Red Fort as prisoners, and to avoid reprisals, when they had to move those freedom fighters from that jail, from Red Fort to this particular place, which was a court back then, so they wanted to make an alternate route, and that is why this tunnel was created, to avoid any kind of reprisal from Indians, to avoid any kind of situation where people would have opposed the freedom fighters either being hanged or being taken to court.